It's Tim, Pickup Truck Plus SUV Talk, and today I'm in a 2023 Chevy Suburban. Yes, the big boy I'm in today. This has got a 6.2 liter V8 under the hood, made it to a 10-speed transmission, automatic transmission that is. It is donned in the high country trim with a beautiful kind of greenish exterior color. In this video, let's talk about what's new with this model year. Let's talk about what's changed, and I got the highlights for you. I'll also give you kind of my likes and dislikes and kind of show you what's going on when you get behind the wheel and what you'd be looking for out there shopping, whether you should do this, Expedition, or Sequoia. Lots of choices out there these days. Now, it is wintertime in Nebraska, which means it is frigid, freezing temperatures, blowing snow, and blowing wind outside. So, excuse me while I put up some manufacturer roll on what this looks like, as well as show you some quick video I'm going to take outside when I get the willpower to do so. Because it is quite the nasty day, and it's been nasty most days I've had this vehicle, so that's what it is. Let's go ahead and get... Okay, let's take a second and check out this interior of the Chevy Suburban. Now, this is the high country trim. One thing to keep in mind is as you go down trims, you won't have as many features or the same kind of materials. But that's about the main differences when you start looking at interior versus other trims. It's just the detail quality, and the material quality. So like this will be more plasticky in your lower trims. You may not have the wireless charger down here and the lower trims. It's just a situation where GM always sends me, and every brand sends me, the highest trim level. So we're looking at this versus other trims. Just imagine less when you go down the trim walk there. So I have a little wood grain on the side of this high country. I have a little bit of stitching here. I do have the controls here. A nice grab handle here for the door. I do have some lock and unlock button there as well. I have a couple set buttons for seating. Control panel over here. So we have auto 4-wheel drive, which I'm in right now, which is great for conditions like this, where it's kind of snowy, kind of slick, but not really, and I don't need it 4 high all the time, and I have that. And then this has the lights, and you can increase the lights on the dash. We have the trailer brake control over there as well. If you're towing, it'll control the brakes in the trailer. Heads-up display. We have auto start-stop, which that turns on. It's kind of controversial feature, but as you're sitting here, it'll turn the engine off, conserve fuel. I have the parking sensors, lane departure, traction control, downhill assist control, and then a camera button, which that turns on these cameras, which you can do from the button there or do from a screen up here. We'll see if I can. Got some glare this morning. We'll try to avoid that. I'll show you the screen more in detail at night. I took some video at night with that vehicle outside. I want to show you some lights and things. I'll show you more details on that screen at night. And so we can see the rest of the HVAC systems here. I can control the rear AC and heat back here, rear climate, heated and cooled seats, heated back, heated bottom, heated just back. I do have some USB controllers there, cup holders here, and then I have a little spot for your cell phone here, and then this opens up. One of the things I thought was really surprising in this vehicle is the lack of storage in here. Like, it's kind of bizarre. This is all you get, and you only get the 2 cup holders. There's a little bit more room in the door, but I thought this would for sure be a lot deeper, and it's not. There is I think, rather controversial thing over here for your sunglasses. I did a video, people corrected me and said, Tim, sunglasses go over here. I don't know. I don't really like that, frankly. Just leave it open. It's just kind of ridiculous. Some wood there, some trim, you can see some chrome there, and then high country badging here, and some nice stitching here. Now, I have been fairly controversial over the years, I've been very consistent over the years in discussing GM seat quality. I think these seats are better than the base level seats, but I don't like the seat as much like my new Silverado seats. So maybe they can make some changes there to these seats. But as I've gotten to lower trim levels, the seats sometimes just aren't very comfortable. I do have a panel moonroof that goes 2-panel, basically. It's interesting, they offer this in the SUVs. They don't offer that in the trucks. Kind of interesting. This is like you open and close the rear hatch, and this is for the controls for the slider for the cover like this. You can keep that closed as much as you want. And then I have lighting controls, and I can control the seats here and the rear and whether I want them up or down. Okay, that's as much as I can show you right here. Afraid it's time to get out and check out the second row. Okay. This vehicle has 1,435 pounds of payload. That means everybody you add to the cabin, every drink, every cell phone, everything in your pocket cannot equal more than 1,435 pounds. So if you have seating for 7 and you have, let's see, 7 times 200-pound people, you're at max capacity. Okay, I got a little handle here when you hop in. And what were the kids watching? They were watching YouTube. Of course, that is the kids' new TV network. Over here, we have some chrome here. We have some stitching, have some wood trim there as well. I do have some Bose speakers there. I wasn't sure if I had Bose before, and I do. Okay, Bose speakers. I have, I should say it differently. The video I shot the other day, Silverado versus a truck, was the first day or so I had the Suburban. So you don't always check out all the details, and I was, well, what I missed. We have some controls here. I have heated upward bottom seats for the bottoms, and I have some HDMI and some USB hookups, so you can run your own like Xbox and stuff back here. You actually, well, you actually can make that work. I do have captain's chairs in the second row, which makes it a pretty flat loading floor through here, and I can see the kids have, yeah. And then we have some seats back here. This was great for the kids, plenty of room, good headroom actually as well. Let's go check this out. So go back here. I have a cup holder here, USBs there as well, some vents there, and I have an indentation here. You can kind of see the indentation here, and it allows for my head to kind of, well, to give me plenty of headroom. See that? Kind of nice. I have plenty of room back here actually. This is fairly comfortable for me at 5'7", and so yeah, this is definitely a vehicle you could ride with multiple people inside of it, which is what's, well, it's what it's designed for. Okay, let's keep going the rest of this video. I'm gonna show you that stuff I shot at night too. Okay, let's talk about what's new, and I'm sitting back here so I don't have the glare. I'm in the second row, so this is kind of nice. And I have the what's new sheet from media.chevrolet, which is the site I go to because it's the media, and I'm the media. Yeah, that's how that works. New for 2023, they're offering Super Cruise it's planned to be available on Premier and High Country. This vehicle doesn't have it. Super Cruise is a feature where it allows you semi-autonomous driving on designated highways. I'm gonna guess they just don't have enough chips and things to make that work on all vehicles. They're slowly rolling it out, and yeah, there's been a lot of shortages getting that to market. Exterior colors are silver sage metallic, the sterling gray metallic, and radiant red tin coat, which is extra cost. The accessory has a black grille with Chevrolet lettering, available for LS, LT, RST, and Premier. So we've seen that in other brands as well, or not, excuse me, other Chevrolet products. It's basically a black grille. You should have the Chevrolet black lettering on the front. Kind of a unique look. It comes in LS, LT, RST, Z71, Premier, and High Country trims. It's available with four-wheel drive. Four-wheel drive is standard on Z71. There was a question about commercial grade 3/4 ton Suburbans, been asked a couple times in the comments. I went on to Chevrolet.com, looked up the commercial side of business. I don't see it anymore, so I don't know what happened with that. Independent rear suspension. I have the first in class 4-corner air ride adaptive suspension available. That's available on the Z71 and High Country, so you can get the 4-corner air ride adaptive suspension. Magnetic ride control is standard on Premier and High Country, available on RST and Z71. You have the 12.3-inch diagonal configurable digital instrument cluster and LT trim and above, and there's up to 13 camera views, including transparent trailer, rear trailer view, and picture-in-picture side view, with available advanced trailing system. If I did more towing, I'd show you that, but I can't really tow in the winter with icy roads and stuff. I just don't. It's got the Google built-in, so this has got the same software that is in the new Silverado I have. It's a new same software setup. There's Wi-Fi, hotspot capable, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are capable as well. All right. Emergency braking, forward collision alert, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, following distance indicator, front pedestrian braking, and telebeam auto high beams are part of the safety suite in this. I will tell you the auto high beams threw me for a loop, and I had to delete part of the video because I screwed it up, but This does have intelligent auto high beams, which means it'll turn on the high beams, turn them off as you're driving. It's very convenient at night, especially in the country. Okay, so it is kind of a trick to do it. You got to take the selector, the switch, the long wand looking thing, and you got to push that forward and then back twice. I think it's how it operates, or twice forward, once back. I've been messing around with it. I keep forgetting how to do it because it's confusing. It should be a button to turn that feature on and off, and I hope for a new refresh it fixes that. And also, it doesn't work really that great. I tried it last night and I gave up on it because A, it's frustrating to get it set up every single time, and B, I didn't like it. It didn't turn on, turn off, so I started manually doing it. And if you manually do it, then it turns it off. And you got to go through the push forward and push back. That's ridiculous. Available features include, like I said, the adaptive cruise control, or adaptive cruise control is available. HD surround vision is available. 15-inch diagonal heads-up display is available. Rear camera mirror washer, rear pedestrian alert, and more is available. So adaptive cruise, I didn't get it in my Silverado. It's not available on this. There's an indicator looks like it next to the horn. It's not it. It's a different setting. So that's something it's look at. Max cargo, it's 144.7 cubic feet and 8,300 pounds of max trailering. And again, when I looked up online, they only offered a 6.2 and 3 liter in this, but it says it's standard with 5.3 V8, and that's gonna be in the lower trim levels. But in high country, you get 6.2 or 3 liter diesel. So yeah, that's the interior, and that's what's new. Okay, here is the exterior of the 2023 Chevy Suburban. A little bit different setup, I think, in the grille in years past. I do have some spots for fog lamps that are not equipped in this vehicle. I do have the little daytime running lamp going there. I really like this front end. And then this is that sage kind of green metallic. It looks really nice. This is a little dirty, which is kind of a nice way to see it because you always see very clean vehicles on sandy beaches and ocean scenes, but this is actually real usage. So yeah, and I like this kind of two-tone look in the grille. A little chrome, a little like brass looking to it. Over on the side, I have the mirror caps that match the color as well. It's kind of nice. I do have those running boards that pop out. Suburban there, high country there. Interestingly enough, there's no 6.2 logo on the hood. Usually there's 6.2 or something they designate what the engine is, except for the 5.3. They don't really talk about the 5.3 or the, but the Duramax, they put a little Duramax in the hood as well on the Silverado. I'm not sure they do it on the Suburban. Come around the sides. Suburban spelled out there as well. I have a quad exhaust setup. Behind here is my hitch, chrome there as well. And then let's talk about this. I'm back here. Let's talk about the storage. There is a kick-free thing here, which I'll show you at night. And then we have some coats going to Goodwill, but pull on the seats here, second row and third row. And I have a little power hook up here as well. There. Real life. They have inverter built in, so you just gotta plug in your laptop. You don't have to worry about inverters, stuff like that. And we'll close it there. Okay. Now it's sufficiently frozen. Let's get back to the rest of the review. Okay, let's check out this Suburban at night. Yes. There's your front headlights. There's a marker light. Those are auto high beams are on. There's a fancy trick to that. I'll show you guys when I get inside the truck. That's kind of ridiculous. I got more to say about that. But I want to show you, let's go around the back. Okay, there's the back, and you can see it's kind of got a cool puddle lamp right there, right? And I believe that'll open. I'm gonna do it in a video, it's not gonna work, but, oh, there it goes. So you put your foot where the pedal lamp is, and it opens. And there's your lighting in the back, and we have this lit up too. Oh, slippery out here. There's the kids watching the shows. That's how that looks. But I wanted to show that lit up here. And then, of course, not doing it on camera, but this all gets lit up when the vehicle's probably not running. It's a whole light down there. Let's turn it off for a second. Let's see. Well, I don't want to turn it off because kids are watching the shows. And I'll reset everything. But that all lights up. It's pretty cool. I'll take another video if I can. And then, okay, this is the video I wanted. Check out these lights here. I remote started it. So look at those. I think it just looks cool. I can. And then inside, here's your lighting inside. So there's lighting here, here. That's lit up there. There's your dash. There's this, how that looks. And then, like I was saying, there's a trick that you guys told me in the comments, which I still think is ridiculous. And if this vehicle came with an owner's manual, I would have got this figured out by now, but it doesn't come with an owner's manual. But you like press twice, you back once, there you go. And then auto high beams turn on. So I think it's, if I remember right, it's push forward twice, back once, twice, back, forward, whatever. And there's your high beams. So that's what the Silverado, or excuse me, Silverado, that's what the Suburban looks like at night. Okay, I want to show you the cameras, because it always looks better at night, easier to show. So what I did here was I went and pressed my camera button, but you can also do it, like if you go in reverse, the camera will pop on, and then if you reverse a little bit, then go back into drive, the front camera will pop on for a little bit as well. And it turns off after you get at a certain speed, a certain time. So, but we'll stop it here, and we'll go back here and go to the cameras, and back to the cameras. All right. And then you can see different cameras, different settings. And this is just showing you the front cameras, and then you do the same thing for the reverse cameras. Okay, so if I go in reverse, I can change those cameras up as well. Look at my hitch, do different viewpoints, see where I'm at. So yeah, so lots of good cameras on this, which makes it useful when you have this size of vehicle. Okay, back here on the open road, let's go ahead and talk about this. This is, like I said, got the 6.2 liter V8, which is plenty of horsepower and torque for this kind of vehicle. I have the 10-speed automatic transmission. It's been flawless. I've used this transmission in different vehicles, GM vehicles, and I find the 10-speed is just a sweet spot for them right now. They've had a little bit of issues with 8-speed, but 10-speed seems like that's the ticket. Now, this does have the Magnet Ride suspension system, or the better ride quality system, I call it. Also has 4-corner air suspension, so it is cool when you stop. It'll lower itself down like a transformer. It goes. It's kind of cool. All right, party game, parlor trick there. But overall, those two things, Magnet Ride plus the air suspension, should result in a really good ride quality, and it does. This rides a lot like what I would consider a unibody SUV, like a mid-size unibody SUV. It drives a little bit smaller than you'd think as well. Prior generation Suburbans, I felt like my butt was on the rear was chasing after me like the toy with that little doggy toy with a spring coming around. This feels much more planted, feels much more complete as a vehicle. They did make the change to the independent rear suspension versus prior generations that used to have a solid rear axle in the back, and you do get some benefits from that. You do get a better ride quality, and you do get, when you take those rear seats down, third row seats down. In prior generations, you'd have to take those seats out because there's no way to fold them down. This now gets folded flat, you have a flat loading floor, and it just makes it more convenient for, well, everything. Makes it a lot more convenient. There was some concerns about towing capability when you don't have the solid rear axle. This does tow 8,300 pounds. It seems like in this class, that's about the kind of the max range you want to be at, and I don't think that there's really any concern with that anymore. I know when they first did it, there was some concern with that, but I don't think it's been well validated. Just one of those things to think about. So, the engine's got plenty of torque and horsepower. I don't know if I can open up here. Again, icy roads. Let's try. Yeah. I mean, again, this is a large vehicle. That's pretty good. I'm already doing 60. One of the things that I was interested to see was the dampener setting. So in prior generations Suburbans I've driven, when you smash the accelerator, the front end lifts up. And this happened a lot when I was driving the Hummer as well. You may remember that video, or maybe not. But the front end would lift up quite a bit, and what it does is it changes your eyesight, so you're looking up in the air instead of being straight on the ground. And I know that the dampener setting that we talked with Bilstein doing, they can set that up so that when you accelerate, it doesn't raise up, it just holds it pretty steady. And this one holds it a lot steadier than I have in years past. Now, I've taken quite a bit of road trips on this thing so far. I have over 300 miles on it during the week I've been testing it, and I'm averaging 18.7 miles per gallon, and I'm driving pretty normally. No issues there. I will tell you that the 6.2 liter, to get all of that performance, requires, or recommended, or I think it requires at every voltage, premium fuel. Premium fuel on this, so it is interesting getting that good fuel economy with the premium fuel, but you pay more for the premium fuel. It's the same discussion you're going to have. This also comes in a 3-liter Duramax diesel engine. Diesel pricing is more expensive right now, but it's actually cheaper to buy the diesel versus the 6.2 But you get a lot better fuel economy in the diesel. So it's this continual game people talk about. I'm talking more and more these days about cost per mile, because that makes a lot more sense than price per gallon. You know, how much does it cost me to go per mile? Isn't that really what you want to know? It makes sense to me. I'm gonna hit these. Yeah, those are those road vibrations, and barely even felt them. So overall, the cabin, it's been wonderful to have. I have wife and 2 kids. We've taken some road trips with this, and plenty of room. We actually separated the kids in the second and third row. Last night they sat in the second row, and they both actually figured out the rear seat entertainment system. I've been fairly critical on that system because of one thing. It's a streaming-based system, and if you don't have kids that are older like my kids are, or if you're a grandparent and you're trying to buy this to take the family around, and you don't understand that there's, you know, how to sync things and how to use Bluetooth and how to get things connected, and paying for the Wi-Fi, and it can be cumbersome. And so that's something you definitely got to keep in mind with this, is there is a learning curve for that, and luckily my kids were able to figure it out after a while. The Bluetooth headphones seemed like they connected pretty decent. There was some back and forth, but once they figured it out, they had it down, which is pretty impressive. But again, it's younger generation. I swear to God, those kids can pick up like a computer and just tell me how it works in 10 seconds. Bastards. So I think overall, the price is pretty expensive, $87,000. I did a video comparing this to the Silverado I just bought for the channel for the year, and it's $20,000 difference between this and a Silverado. That's quite a bit of coin for carrying 2 more passengers. Oh my gosh, here comes the sun. So let's wrap this up. Would I buy it? Yeah, I think it's great. This is, I think, the alternative to a minivan. I get towing, I get kind of a cooler look to me, and I get the same kind of room for carrying lots of passengers. Also, it's great having the additional third row back there with the space behind it. So it's not just a quaint third row that fits kids, and I can't fit anything behind it. I have tons of room in this vehicle, and that is not a concern. Again, my only really concerns were the nitpicking stuff I did in interior. I think an interior refresh would go a long way with this, and it'd be a home run. There's a reason why General Motors sells a lot of Yukon Tahoes and Suburbans. They understand this market. If you want to understand more about trucks to SUVs, check videos over here. Website down below, pickuptrucktalk.com. As always, thanks for watching. I will see you down the road.